In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to be able to tell if your lawn needs water just by looking at it. Being able to see the signs that your lawn is in need of water is going to be critical to making sure you keep a green lawn as the temperatures keep rising. So let's get out of the weeds. So over the past few weeks, I've started kind of giving you guys a few lawn updates, talking about water and just kind of showing you guys what a lawn looks like when it's starting to go dormant. But one thing I want to talk about today is being able to identify when your lawn needs water just by looking at it. And so I made those watering videos a little while back that talked about how much water your lawn needs and how often you should water. And those are a good starting point. But whenever we get temperatures that are pushing 85 into the 90s and higher, your grass is going to probably need even more water than what I talked about just in those videos if we just get sustained hot temperature days with a lot of sun and no rain. And so it's critical to be able to just identify by looking at your lawn to see if you need to give it a little bit more water. Now, whenever your lawn is getting ready to go dormant, before it actually turns brown, you're actually going to be able to kind of see it look almost a grayish color if you look across the lawn. And this is a critical signal to show you that your lawn is in need of water. It's kind of the last sign that you see before the lawn turns brown. Whenever temperatures get above 85 degrees, cool season grass really begins to struggle. So if you get it to stay 85 and above, sustained for days on days on days, you're going to really have to add a lot of water to keep your lawn still looking green, because cool season grass by nature is going to want to start to check out. For me, I always have this one particular spot in my lawn that always goes dormant before any other place in my lawn. And I'll show you some pictures here on the screen. As you can see, there was actually several times where it actually went completely dormant on me, just because it happened so quick in that spot. Most of you are going to have some spot in your lawn that's going to probably go dormant before the rest of it. So a few weeks ago, I actually noticed that that spot in my lawn was starting to really go dormant on me. And so I actually did a little bit of filming talking about that spot. So take a look. Even with my lawn, I've been watering it a little bit, but still not probably as much as what I should have. And I actually have parts of my lawn that are starting to try to go dormant on me. Anytime you start to have any kind of problems with your lawn, the first place I want you to look is always on your curb strip, because on the curb strips, they are almost always going to tell you the health of your lawn. And so I want you to think of them kind of as a thermometer. And so it's telling you if your lawn's doing good or your lawn's doing bad. And so the reason is because almost everything in lawn care is dependent on temperatures. And so depending on how hot or how cold it is going to determine what weeds are coming out, is going to determine what disease you're going to potentially deal with, determine how much water your lawn needs. So much of lawn care and everything we do is dependent on the air temperatures for the soil. And so whenever we're dealing with the season going on, the curb strips in any kind of part of your lawn that's up against sidewalk or road, you're always going to see it have the issues before the rest of your lawn gets, because its temperature is higher than what the rest of your lawn is. And so if you want to know if your lawn's thirsty and probably going to go dormant, the first area to look is going to be at that curb strip. Okay, and so now here I am kind of on my curb strip, and you can see, and here you can start to see discoloration right up against where the road starts. And so that's just because it's much hotter there than what it is away from it. And so that's why I say it'll always look here, because this area gets much hotter. So it's going to dry out and go dormant far before anything else does. But for the most part, it looks pretty decent. But as I continue to pan up, if you look there at the very top of the screen, way down there, you see that discolored portion. That's what you want to look for whenever your lawn's getting ready to go dormant. If you look across your lawn and you start to see almost kind of a gray color, that's a signature sign that your lawn needs water, and it's just ready to go into dormancy if you don't do something quick. And so now let's walk up here and take a closer look at what I'm dealing with. And so as I get closer here, you can really start seeing this part of my lawn here in this little section here is really starting to struggle. So now here I am today, a few weeks later, and I want to show you guys how that spot's looking. And so from the video that I showed you, you could see that that spot was really struggling. And so now, kind of as I walk back out here, you can look back behind me and you can see it doesn't really look too bad. Everything looks pretty good. So now as I'm here at the spot, you can see there's still a little bit of brown in here, but nowhere near as bad as what it was a few weeks ago. It was really starting to check out. Okay, so here's my lawn. So overall, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. I can tell from just sitting here, it's not near as nice and dark green as it normally is. I can definitely tell it's kind of stressed. But what I want you to do is look off in the top right of the screen there, and you can see really kind of a grayish area. And I'll start to kind of walk up towards it, and you can see just right in through here, that's a perfect sign right there that the lawn is under a lot of heat stress. And so I really need to water, or else I really run the risk of the lawn going dormant. And so then here's that spot that I've been showing you. It's really starting to struggle again today. And then it continues kind of all the way down, and it just stays that same way right up against the curb. What my lawn is telling me is that I really need to get down some water. And what the issue actually is because of my smart irrigation controller. What it does is if it senses that there's weather predicted in the forecast, so if it thinks it's going to rain today, it might skip, instead of running this morning, it might skip it and wait until a couple days ahead because it's thinking it's going to get rain. Well, if the weather forecast changes and we don't end up getting the rain that it thinks we do, well, then I end up getting left with no water on my lawn. And so I think that's what's kind of happened a couple times. We were supposed to get some rain here a day or two ago, and we didn't really get anything here. And so I really think, especially with us getting these really high temperatures now, that's what's really causing my lawn to really be struggling. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just run a full irrigation schedule on my lawn just right now. Normally with me having an irrigation system, it runs kind of in the very early morning. So I'm talking like 4 or 5 in the mornings when it's usually running, before the sun comes up, just because as it gets hotter, it's better to water earlier in the morning, because as it gets hotter, you're dealing with potentially more wind, and then also with the sun being out, it evaporating some of the water, so it's not getting down in as much. But with as bad as my lawn's starting to struggle right now, I really just need to go ahead and get it down right now. And then even tomorrow morning, I'm going to need to go and just do another full run through, really just get a lot of water on my lawn here to help it work its way back. And you'll see here in just a few days, I should be right back to where it was before. I really can't overstate how important proper watering techniques are to keep your lawn looking green. And it's by far the thing that's going to make the most difference. Even if you do everything else right with your fertilizing and mowing and everything else, if you're really wanting to keep a green lawn, especially during the summer, it's going to require getting the proper water. And for most of us, what we're going to get from rain isn't going to be enough, especially as we start getting into these warm summer months. If you guys have any questions about watering your lawn or summer dormancy, feel free to drop a comment and I'll be sure to get back with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.